Hello.
Sorry, love. I'm terrible about seeing that. So yeah,
No,
really
you're
fast.
good.
Yeah, so I've had that before a couple of times. I've had it on another live, and then even in some of my videos I'll get a thing where in my videos it'll ask me, I'll get a message that will say, "Do you want to turn on anti-bully and do certain words?" But as soon
hmm
as I logged on, it just said that they turned on anti-bully filters on this live. So I'm always open. I just want you guys to know that as well. So, you can't use people's
Okay,
names.
well, can I say something real quick
Yeah, of
about
course.
the messy tea situation? So I will post screenshots on my page because I don't like being called a liar. I never lied about anything. So Messy T DM'd me and was saying that they were going to post things about me, didn't say what, unless I could prove how I knew 2K, and saying that I had been harassing him for 2 to 3 years. And I responded to them and said, that's not true because I have not known 2K for 2 to 3 years to harass him. And this situation just showed up on my For You page not even a year ago. So I don't know what you're talking about. And I told them to post what they had on me because they were claiming they had evidence. They did not post anything. They were like, oh, I'll wait and post my evidence another day. And so I just told them, I was like, do what you got to do. Yes, I taunted them. I was talking about Bree's Discord, which Bree, I wasn't a part of that Discord at the time. And I was like, yeah, Bree's Discord is jumping over here, but I never threatened to dox Messy T. All I did was took the screenshot of what she was threatening to me and posted it to my story. And I can post it again because I still have the messages. And then I ended up blocking. Oh, actually, they blocked me. I blocked them first. Then I unblocked them. And then they blocked me. So I don't even know who that person is. But they assumed that because I had information on Chloe, if y'all know about that situation, the girl who came out and said
I don't know
that
who Chloe
2K
is.
SA'd her.
I have no
Well, a
idea.
girl named Chloe said that 2K SA'd her, and I had the information on it. And they all came and was saying that I was a liar. I posted the evidence, and she was claiming that I was harassing him for years because of that. And I'm like, no, someone actually really did come to me with those messages, and I had the proof, and I posted it. I would never lie about anything. So
And again, I have,
just to clear
you
that up.
know, I have no clue what's going on between y'all. So I'll let y'all handle that on y'all's page, right? Because I think that it's important for over here. I want to make sure that we're staying focused on what my page is about. And again, it's all about, going through the court stuff and the visitation and the parenting and whatnot. And I had thought what you had said earlier was that, all right, I guess my question was, were you stating that the recent issue was when she was saying that her and or that him and Santos had got into it? That's what I was asking. Because I was like, I don't believe that to I don't have any evidence of
So
that, but I don't believe that to be true. That's what I was asking.
I never said there was a video of the recent issue. All I said was that at that visit, it proved that he was also an aggressor when it came to drop offs, because if he saw Santos outside, he could have handled that situation differently. Maybe by pulling the monitor to the side and being like, hey, he's not supposed to be here, or just figuring out what's going on. But I can understand why he would be upset because obviously there's all of that history, and there's the whole like kidnapping thing where he doesn't like Santos. I can understand like his reaction to it, but I feel like he could have handled it differently.
But that's
But
my
at the same
question.
time,
That's my
that
question, Jayla. Is how do you know what his reaction was?
well,
I
I
can
saw
only.
the videos of people like of Brie and Santos and all of them saying that he behaved aggressively at the visit,
Okay, so
and
you're.
the
You're.
monitor had to tell him something. So
I
that's why I said he could have handled that differently
right.
if he did
Let
do
me
those things.
let me tell you just from what I again I've been a social worker for 30 years, and I worked in that line of work for 20. If in fact that happened, and the monitor had to get in the way and tell him to calm down, the visits would have been stopped immediately. There would not have been a visit that day, and so I find it very highly unlikely that that situation happened. I think they like to come up with some stuff in situation, but if a monitor has to step in the way of one of the parents having an issue with another parent, that visit's not gonna is not gonna happen.
Well,
One and
you have
two,
to remember it
Santos
wasn't
should
with
have
Bree.
left well before. Like he likes to make himself a part of it, which infuriates me because I want Bree to be successful. I want Bree to do good. I want her visits to go good so that she can increase her time and not have to have monitor visits. But Santos has to, he keeps putting himself in situations to where it's going to affect her in a negative way. But I highly doubt that that situation happened at all, at least not how they said it did.
Well, then again, like we don't know if it happened, and even if it did happen, I don't think they would be like, "Oh, Brie, you can't have Winter," because she wasn't the one he was like going crazy at. It was Santos, someone who's not even supposed to be there. So I think that they wouldn't have taken it away because it wasn't between him and her. But at the same time, we don't know if that's true or not. We just have to wait,
Re,
like,
re,
till the documents come
I
out
respect
and
what you're
it
saying.
shows.
I respect what you're saying, and I would hope that you would respect that doing
Yeah,
this
I
line of
respect
work
what you're
for
saying.
as long as I've been doing it, it doesn't matter what is happening. If there's an issue with one of the parents for safety reasons, those visits are not only terminated that day, but a lot of times they'll be terminated until you go to the next court case, regardless if it didn't have anything to do with Bree. Which is why, again, I said even like yesterday with him dropping the food off, that could mess up her court, like, and I don't know if they just don't know or if they just play it so lackadaisical, but all of these
I don't know.
situations,
I don't agree with that one.
and that's okay because I'm not asking you to agree. I'm just telling you again.
Hmm.
I've done this work for 30 years, longer than they've been alive. This is the type of work that I've done, and again, I put my information out there. People can choose to agree with it or not, and it's not. I'm not trying to get you to, but for the people who do want to learn and are going through similar situations and they want my they want help or they're asked my opinion, that's what I come on here for. It's not for people who don't want to know, but it's it's those things are going to come up. Even her being wrong on the time and going online on live and bashing him for 30 minutes saying that he's late, blah 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 blah, and bashing him to where he's getting all those comments when they're not supposed to be doing that anyways, but she did, and then she had the time wrong. That is going to that's going to be written up and that's going to be sent to the judge. They're going to see all of that stuff happens.
Are you talking
So
about the recent stuff? I mean, has she bashed him recently? I don't know anything about that.
yeah, so it was the second day, so I guess that would have been Monday. Um, I guess she had the time wrong. I don't know what the time is. So just for this sake, we're gonna say she thought her visitation was at 8 a.m. Okay, so she's on live at 8 a.m. and she's just bashing him because he's late. And she goes on for 30 to 45 minutes talking about how she's late, he's not there, he does all this, and going on and on. But also the monitor wasn't there, so she's like, well, that's weird. The monitor's not here either. I don't know what's going on. Well, she had the time wrong. The visitation was supposed to be at 10 instead of 8. Again, these times are just for explanation reasons. I don't know what time the visitation was.
Hmm.
And then all of that was for that. Then she comes on much later and says, "Oh, just kidding. I had the time wrong or whatever." But she still sat online for all of that time bashing him, which is against again against the court ruling, and it's going to be a negative against her. And again, I know people think that I don't like the girl. I don't know her to not like her. I just want her to do good so that she can be a mom to baby W, that she can have 50-50. That's how it needs to be, and but she just keeps doing things. So that's my thought on that. And we'll see,
Yeah.
because apparently they released the visitation from the first time, and this is, I mean, I've seen a lot of visitation sheets, and I've never seen one that detailed. I mean, he was marking every 1 to 3 minutes, even if it was no change. It was like no change, no change, no change. So all of that will come up, and you'll see.
Yeah. Well, we'll see whenever the visit evidence come out, and we'll see how they documented it. If something
Absolutely.
did go down, it'll be on there.
Oh, absolutely.
and
Oh,
we'll
100%.
go from there.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
agree.
I definitely um, don't appreciate always being attacked anytime I disagree with something that, everyone else is against. But that's okay, because this is what happens when you have a different opinion from other people. Everybody creates narratives about you, but that's okay.
Well,
I
I
just
think
I don't agree with everything that 2K does. I can't sit here and say he's not a good dad, I've never said that. I just don't believe that he's behaving in the best interest of Winter sometimes. And neither does Bree. I'm not excusing her behavior, but I'm also not excusing his.
and I grasp that, and I would hope that you respect and understand that, when I see people are, coming at you, that I make sure to remind people in my chat to be respectful, to you. Obviously I can't control what everybody does, but I always ask people if they have a difference of opinion. I want people to come up and for us to have these conversations. You've been on my page before, if I'm correct, right? Months
Hmm.
ago, and again, we had a very respectful conversation. You're good to come up, and we have differences of opinion, and again, but I also don't focus on my page about how he treat like his dating relationship. Now, if he was dating somebody right now, then yeah, maybe that would play a bigger part of my thought process on this. But since he's not, I only focus on whatever's happening for the court case, because again, my page is all about getting out the correct information on the court stuff, because T pages will hear one piece, not all, but it's not just T page, just people in general, right? They will hear
Hmm.
one piece and they will send it and run
Run.
with it. I want to
Hmm.
put out the correct information. That's why I always have AA Law Talk come up too, who's a practicing family law attorney in California. She can explain everything. And for other people who are going through the exact same simulation or even a similar situation, I want them to have a place to come and ask questions and feel okay to be able to ask the questions. So I'm not dismissing you in regards to how he treats women. I don't know, but I also don't want to know, because that's not part of what it is that I'm doing. It only comes up with Bree because A, she puts it out all online, and B, she's currently actively in a relationship, and that's part of their court case as well. You cannot invite a paramour to your child, I think, within 6 months of them dating, and now they're actively trying to have another baby. There's just a whole lot of. I just wish they would get this fixed first,
Yeah,
then
I
go
mean,
up.
but until the judge puts in the order, Santos or any person she's with can't be within a certain amount of feet from the building, then we really have no say, or nor does 2K. He can petition for it and be like, "Oh, I don't want him around the building, anywhere near the building within a certain amount of feet before the visit." He could try it,
I mean,
but
I don't think
ultimately
that.
it's up to the
Yeah, I
judge.
don't think that has anything. Are you talking about? Or I'm confused on what you're
Yeah,
talking about.
I'm
Because
talking
again, I think
about
the fight thing
other
or
people
the
being
the
there.
puffing thing, I think that didn't even ever happen. Or if you're talking about the food, again, I just
I'm
want
talking
I.
about the food and Santos leaving to get in his Uber when 2K pulled up.
Okay, yeah.
Both those
Again, I
situations.
just I don't do you not serious question. Do you not find it odd that if that happened, that they don't he had that Santos films all the time? You don't find it odd that wasn't filmed and put out?
Not really, because if they both were filming that morning, then yeah, it would be out there. But I think that we have to think about influencers, like they have lives too, and probably during that time he was trying to be respectful and leave, and 2K just pulled up. We don't know if 2K pulled up early or if maybe Santos was leaving late. Like, we don't know the situation. Either way, like, it was explained Santos did good. He did not provoke him in any way. He just stood there and waited for his ride. Like, we don't know the full story. We just know that, I mean, of course, they exaggerated things probably. We just know that, but we don't know what really went down. So it's kind of like we have to just wait for the real truth to come out.
I
And in
think
the
I think that's a good
meantime,
idea
I
because
do think that they could
we're not gonna
have
tear that out.
recorded that situation, yes. But I don't believe that they did, because at the end of the day, it was a situation that was happening in real time. Like, sometimes you can't get everything on camera.
I get that, but again, that's what they do. They, no matter what's happening, they pull out their motto is anything for the stream, anything for the stream. I just find it odd, but again, with my experience, I'm telling you, if that was to happen, we would know because visitations would have been stopped. But again, we're not going to see eye to eye on that, and that's okay. I respect that. We'll see when the thing comes out. But again, I truly want to thank you for coming up, and you're always respectful to me, and we're able to have conversations even though we don't see eye to eye. So I respect that. So I appreciate that. So thank you for coming back up, and even though we had to end it real quick because of the violation, but thank you for coming up and having a conversation with me.
You're welcome.
All right, have a good day. Bye.
You too. Bye.
Okay. Thank you so much for extending your I almost said scholarship. Your sponsor, or is it, what is it called? Subscription. Oh my God, honey, I love you guys too. You guys, I'll as I always say, I have to respect people who I don't want to say brave enough because that's not the right word, but are able to subscription. Thank you. Good Lord. Who are able to come up and have a conversation and be respectful. And Jayla has always done this. Again, we have spoke in the past as well, and she's been respectful. Again, we don't see eye to eye on things. Thank you. So that is the coolest thing. Thank you so much, Lisa. I love that. So again, I have to respect that. Again, I don't see eye to eye on that. I don't know how him talking, negative. Thank you, Mama. Him talking negatively to women. Do I agree with that? Absolutely not. But again, right now, my only focus is on who is the better parent. Do you really think 2K got yelled at by? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. Again, as I said, if there is any type of conflict at a drop-off or a pickup or during a visitation, visitations are to be halted. That wouldn't have happened. The visitation would have stopped. Even though Bree wasn't there, even though it didn't have to do with Bree, it would have been halted for safety reasons. And if it comes out I'm wrong because it's in a different area and they just thought they would get away with whatever, then I will absolutely. Thank you, Mama. Sock gang. Sock gang. What in the thing? Sock gang. Okay, wait, sorry. To improve her image. Yeah, unfortunately, I've said it before. I really do feel like her and Santos are cute together. But I feel like since she's been even hanging around with Santos, even as a friend, right? Was it November, December when they started hanging out? That's when we started seeing her really, really go downhill. And unfortunately, I feel like, well, not, you know what I'm saying. They seem to grasp each other, get each other, whatever. That's what I'm saying. Unfortunately, I feel like Santos is going to be a downfall to her. Again, he should have been away from there an hour or so before the visitation, just to assure not that he didn't run into anybody, that the monitor didn't see him. Again, because it is in their court papers, she cannot invite or have her child around anybody she is in a dating relationship with. Right? And I will never believe that there was a situation between the two and Santos didn't film it. Everything else has been filmed. And again, the visitation was stopped. And then filming the food to go drop the food off. That to me, that just absolutely, it just doesn't make any sense. And again, the monitor then would have had to have gone verified where did the food come from, and unless they asked. Right now, if she asked the monitor and said, hey, I'm gonna have somebody drop off food, is that okay? They could have said yes, right? But then they would have still had to go through the food to check to make sure that there's no tracking devices. There's nothing else in there. People think that I'm being dramatic about it, but that's how it goes. People do try to steal kids right from a monitoring center. Actually, we had one right from the CPS building itself, which I worked on the opposite side. They were on this side, but the dad took off out the CPS building. It happens. So they have to go over and beyond to assure the safety of the child. So he's doing too much, and it's going to hurt her. And as a mom, as a woman, if she can't see that he is doing things that could prevent her from seeing her child, then she's choosing a man over her child. Gotta rep the Hawks always. So that's just, some of my opinions and thoughts of my 30 years experience. Thank you, Jacob. I try. I don't like to come in. Well, I definitely don't ever just come on here just to hear myself talk, because personally, I think I have the most damn annoying voice in the world. I truly hope that other people that are going through these situations or going through a similar situation can gain some knowledge from all of this stuff. These individuals choose to put their whole life out there, right? That's why I utilize it, for them to gain knowledge. Will the monitor know her? Yeah, if it comes out, absolutely. Because she's not allowed to have her phone, so she would have had to have asked him if it was from DoorDash, like if DoorDash, or she was going to order it from DoorDash. There would have been a situation there, right? So if she asked if she could order DoorDash, well, even then, because remember in the notes before, I'm not at my house, so I don't have the forms. But remember before, it said that when she was going to do something on the phone, she had to call an Uber, remember? And the monitor gave her phone and then watched her order an Uber. That's how strict the monitoring, that's how strict it is. You're going to utilize your phone to do something. They watched her order an Uber and then had her turn the phone off and took the phone back. So that's what I'm saying. There's just no way. So I don't know how she is going to get around this food thing. If food is just randomly showing up at your door, that's also suspicious. And then they're going to think, are you just going to feed your child food that you have no clue where it came from? Is that a good decision? A lot's going to go into it. So it'll be very interesting to see how it plays out. Again, I truly just want her to get it together. I just want her to be able to be a mom. Her mom has to go through the same rules. Ouch. So yeah, mom wouldn't be able to have the phone out either. Again, it's all for safety. It is all for safety. So again, if they were going to order food from DoorDash, they could have asked, and he or she could have said, yes, that's fine, but then they would have watched them do it. And so they didn't order anything. So again, how did the food show up? And that's a rule of the visitation center, not absolutely right. Because remember, the rules state on days and time, location, mom and dad have to agree upon, right? But then it also states on top of, they have to follow every rule of the visitation center. If you guys go on there, you'll see they have a very lengthy, thank you. I love the socks. Thanks, Erin. They have a very lengthy, they have strict rules. And again, I think it's because it's owned and ran by a bailiff, and all of the supervisors there, all of the monitors are all off-duty police officers. So they're active police officers. They're off-duty. This is what they're doing in their off time. Thank you for all the Seahawks love. I do appreciate it. Hopefully we'll have another good year sometime. I don't know. And Santos films everything, so I don't believe. Yeah, that was my first thing, was the fact that they didn't have it filmed. And again, as soon as they said that the monitor had to get involved, I already knew that was not a thing. There's a phone in the hotel room. I'm guessing that is what he used to call about the food. Possibly. I mean, again, we're never gonna know. We can play a guessing game. We're never gonna know until it comes out. I don't know. The Titans need a good. There's a lot of teams that need a good. I tell you, if the Browns, probably one of the worst teams in the NFL, if they don't have a good year after some of their picks, listen, let's not get me started on football. Oh yeah, I saw that Santos went out with Alex today. So, what is your guys' thought on that? Was that just a FU to Vale, or was that a let's meet up so I can maybe also, get on social media and start making what is your guys' thoughts on that? Just messy. Whoa, who just said that? Betty, of course. That's the first thing I said. Just messy. I love it. Yes, to push Valley's buttons. Yeah, totally. Loma, agree. Run, Alex. Absolutely. Did you guys see? I saw a snippet today. I don't know where Jordan and Valet were, but they were walking down. Oh, I do. I think he said they were on Hollywood Boulevard. And some guy says, "Is that your girl?" And he says, "Yeah." And he says, "How much for 20 minutes?" I was like, "Oh my God. Oh my God." And whatever T-Page put up, they said they could spot what she did from a mile away. They guessed her occupation. I was like, oh my God. Oh, he said 300 for 20 minutes. $300 for 20. No, stop them. Kidding. Don't clip that. We are team Baby W over here. Baby W. It is what is best, whatever is best for Baby W. And I work on putting out facts and only facts. Said that perfectly and perfect. Anyone get his number? Well, I did see the picture of him, so I'm sure, TikTok's FBI agents, I know someone will find him. $300, that's good. Anyways, so we are all about putting out correct information. I don't rush at putting out information that's false for people to run with a narrative. I wait until I have the court documentation to put it out. And then we have an amazing SOC gang member, AA Law Talk, who is a practicing family law attorney in California, comes up and answers all of our questions. So it's never a pro Brie, pro 2K. It is pro Baby W over here. Go live with, who's that? K-Gom? I've never even heard that person. Hold on. Wait, did I get it? I feel like I'm like missing out on so many people. You guys will ask me all the time, oh my gosh, you should go live with so-and-so. Did you see so? And I'm like, I've never even heard of these people. I wish she would come up now. Who, Betty? Who? Who's coming up? Who do you want to come up? Yes, tap away. No, Natalie, not too long. I came on late and then we had to start because of a violation. So we had to restart. So yeah, we haven't been on too long. I will post this on YT. I still have to post last night's on there. It's just taken a long time because of my internet not being set up at my house. But I'm gonna do it this weekend. So you won't miss anything, I promise. If you guys have not, no, I didn't, but I did want to talk about that too, Missy, about Janelle. I was surprised at how many feathers were ruffled about my Janelle video. Yes, my YT is the same as my TikTok, AngieW1470. I sent you her profile. Oh, okay. I will absolutely look at it. I don't have my iPad is down at my house. I don't want to walk down there. I'm lazy. But anyways, so I did a video really fast yesterday. It doesn't have a whole lot of views on it, but it really it seemed to really upset some people. And so I do want to clarify some things on that video. Janelle Evans from 16 and Pregnant, and then Teen Mom, right? So she has 4 kids now, I think. So her oldest son, Jace, which is the one that she had well on 16 and Pregnant. Jace lived primarily with his grandmother, I think until he was like, I don't know, 10 or 11, okay? She comes on, and again, you guys, I do not dig up anybody's information. I don't look for anything. I don't look up absolutely anything into any case. Sorry, they're not cases. Into anybody's situation, right? I go based off of the information that they put out onto the internet. Okay? She comes online. She came on. She did a video yesterday before. And she put out what her son's diagnoses were. And that she sent her 15-year-old off to go live with his dad. His name is Andrew. Now, she said in the video, I may be wrong, but I'll go back and watch it, that he does not have a relationship with Andrew. Matter of fact, Andrew didn't really, I don't think, knew about him until he was way later in life, whatever. And his grandma. And she says he's not seen his grandma since he was an infant. Okay? I came on and I said a couple of things I was confused about. One, wherever she lives, do they not have it set up where the child's money gets set aside in any way, shape, or form? She's made a lot of money off of 16 and Pregnant and Teen Mom, and he's been in those shows. And the reason why I ask is because she said because of his diagnoses, he is very difficult to handle and deal with, and he's gotten in a lot of trouble, and it's now a safety issue because of the other kids. I grasp that. I fully grasp and understand. So I'm not bashing her for sending him off to his dad. I'm not bashing him for that. My question is, she said, I found, or I looked into a boys' home or whatever, but I cannot afford it. So it's like, well, what happened to the money? Mind you, Nathan, who is her other son's dad, who's not been around for her child at all, she just paid for his attorney. So how is that happening? Right? How are you paying for an attorney for a dad who's not been around for his kid, but now you have a 15-year-old son who needs somebody, and you're going to send him to somebody who he doesn't really know? I understand people then came on and said, well, that's not my place, whatever. And that there's pictures, so he does have some type of relationship. If you send them to me, absolutely, I will. Heart. I don't know what else to call you, heart. If you send them to me, we absolutely can. Yes. Anyways, let me go back to this. And I also said that I feel like before sending him there, that Andrew and Grandma should have got some type of crash course, some knowledge, something on how to deal with individuals with the diagnoses that he has, because they're much worse when you're going through puberty as well. So that's what I said, and that seemed to really piss a lot of people off for some reason. So I did not mean to piss people off. I'm not bashing Janelle at all for sending him off, and I hope and pray that that's the best thing. My concern is that he's going somewhere that they don't. Anyways, so I just want to put that out there. I'm not bashing anyone who has children with that diagnosis, and I didn't release it. So that's what someone thought. They're like, "How dare you release the child's diagnosis?" Well, the fuck, how would I even know what they were? She put it out there. Honey, I'm still trying to figure it out, chasing crime. I got messaged by a couple of my mom saying, we're fighting for your life over there. And I'm like, on which one? They're like, the one about Janelle. I'm like, doesn't even have like 2,000 views. What the heck? I didn't think it'd be that big of a deal. But anyways, they were very mad. And I don't, I would never want that. And again, I don't grasp the money piece of it. I'm not being in people's pockets, but typically money is set aside for each child, I just want what's best for the kids. I did hear that he is sober, and I'm so thankful, and I actually really hope that this helps for both of them. Andrew has actually always wanted to be a part of Jace's life from when I used to watch the show, but he wasn't, he was Wi-Fi'd out, but now that he's not, this is the thing. My only issue was I just wish that they would have gotten, some help on how to deal with things, especially ODD. ODD is very difficult. You have to deal with people with ODD in a certain way. I don't know if the Coogan law is everywhere. I heard that was only in California, but I could be wrong. Oh, I will not forget. We'll go there next. Lisa is not letting me go. She's like, I've been waiting since yesterday. Okay. So I just wanted to apologize if by chance I pissed somebody off about my opinions on Jace. So that's what I'm hoping for, Karma, is that he is. ODD is messy. Oh, 80% of our goal. You guys, and again, you guys never have to do those things. I don't set the goals either. It's like I don't put on a filter. I hit live and hit go. So ODD is like, it's not obsessive, I can't think of a defiant disorder. Thank you, Beth. That was one of the ones that texted me, I'm fighting for your life. Thank you, love. It's like obsessive defiant disorder. The O is for something else. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But they people with ODD try to get they can be very aggressive and very, very oppositional. Thank you. They can be very aggressive, and they want Angie, it's called a Coogan account. Jace's money should be saved too. Is that for all states? Because that's good. I hope so. I don't understand then why she's not utilizing that for him to get the proper treatment. But anyways, they do things to try to get, in a sense, try to get a reaction. I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. So they act out, right? I have somebody close, very, very close to me, that I dealt with a child that has this. Oh, they can't touch it till they're 18. Even for that? Even for his... Well, anyways, okay, we can talk about that later because we got to get on to Jody Harris. Okay. And the response they want is for you to react back in the screaming and whatever, right? To try to discipline them. And it took me a while to figure out that that's exactly what they wanted, and that heightened it because they want that reaction. So no matter how they came at me, I had to respond back with, I understand you're really frustrated right now, but we need to take a few moments and breathe, right? And I had to go in that tone. And anyways, it takes a long time and it took a lot of practice. And I realized once I started doing that, then I wasn't getting that reaction. And not very quickly, months, right? It changed. Anywho, that's a whole different story. Okay. I also, like Kaylin from the same, they never really, yeah, in the beginning they didn't, but each season they went up, they did. She got paid a lot. Okay. Jody Harris. Now, give me Leticia, give me a quick rundown because I want to make sure I'm thinking the same one. What did she do to her children again? Is she the one that drove in the car, drove in the river? Or lake or whatever. I have two people in my head and I need to know which one. Oh, is she the one in the shower that no, it's not the children. It's okay. He was the one in the shower, right? Yes. Okay. I just want to make sure. Honey, there's so many. Her and the suitcase girl. Can't think of her name. Okay, so Jodi Arias is a woman who how do I say this? Right, Nikki? I'm telling you, the Karen Reed trial is it. That story is it. Okay. A suitcase girl is weird. Oh, yeah. Okay, so Jodi Arias was, I don't know if they were dating, engaged. I can't remember. It's an old case, so I don't remember. I'm not as sharp on all of the details. But she, yeah. Didn't she crawl in through the cat door? They were dating. Yeah, they were dating. They have broke up. Hi, Rita. Anyways, she, right. Well, he was in the shower. I think he was with somebody else. No, you're fine, Messy T. You are just fine. You family over here, honey. Oh, Rita, yeah, we've been going for a while. That's okay. Because I am going to upload it all up onto the white tea. So don't you worry, love. Sarah Boone is the suitcase one. Jodi Arias, I don't know why I'm drawing such a blank because last night, as soon as you said it, the whole case like popped in my head. She is very sick. I think she had some very serious undiagnosed or maybe diagnosed mental health issues. This is the thing when you have mental health issues and you add any type of liquid courage or any type of Wi-Fi type issues, it makes your mental health issues way worse, right? People do it because they know something's wrong in there and they don't feel right, and so they try to numb it in a sense. They try to take that feeling away or whatever it is they're feeling. But what it does is it completely throws it off and you basically go into a psychosis. However, with Jodi, I feel that Jodi was fully aware of what she was doing. I don't think she was in a psychosis at all. I think she was fully aware of what she was doing. Let me see, I know the whole Jodi Arias case, so if you want to talk about it, you can bring me up. Yes, but what I was just thinking, because I know we want to go over that, Karen and Sarah Boone, but I think that needs to be a YT day. I'm nervous to talk about it over here because of like guidelines. So we need to schedule a YT date. Can you, Wellabella? I love the name, Wellabella. That's so cute. Would you be comfortable going to YT and coming up and doing that? Because we can definitely do that. Not today. Tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. I have my heart appointment tomorrow to see exactly what's going on over there. I don't know if my kids are watching, so I won't say anything. But maybe tomorrow we can do it. She even lied in court saying he came at right, and he was fully in the shower. She was. I don't feel that. I don't think. And this again, I watched that whole trial too, but it was premeditated and she was very well aware of what she was doing, where there's other situations where they're not. So yeah, she got exactly what she deserved. Yeah, crazy. The girl was 103 pounds. He was 267. Yeah, she definitely caught him. 3 pounds. He was 267. Yeah, she definitely caught him off guard. And then left him in the shower. Wasn't there something with an animal too? I feel like there was something with an animal too, and I cannot remember what it was. I don't know if she did something with the animal or the animal was left there to fend this out. We love the TikTok shop. The best lip gloss you will ever get. Oh, I don't know if it's still on sale, you guys, but I hope you got it when it was on sale for $5. I bought more. Something's wrong with me. Adrenaline, liquid courage factor. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And she caught him off guard too. Right? He was in the shower, so she was able to catch him off guard. And once you do that, anyways, a mess. So Jody is right where she needs to be. And we're talking about Jody Aris. Yeah, I know there's something to do with a pet. I'll have to do some research and go into that because that was a mess. Who was the mom that drove into the did she drive into the yeah, she did. She drove into the lake with the kids. There's just so I know, Heather, I don't grasp how do these people have Susan Smith? How do these people have fans? Just like what's his name? That's like this has the Wade Wilson. Wade Wilson. Did you see to move to? Yes. Yeah, I did see that. I'm wondering. Like, why do they have fans? Hi, Brandy. Thank you, love. MGM, I'm following it a little bit, but I am an essay survivor, and I have found I watched the first day, and it started to really trigger me. So I have learned really well to, when things trigger me, I have found to just keep it at a arm's length. I'm so curious. I want to know, but I also know to protect my mental health. But I like want to know, but these were they went very, very much into detail. And so some of those things I can't. Off topic, I can't speak. Have y'all heard Bri might meet up with? I did hear that. Which again, I just find so funny. We're going to talk about how they don't have their anyways, let me not get started. Wait, they did meet up? Yeah, I feel like anybody that oh my gosh, Chris Watts. Let's talk about it. Are you guys down to talk about it? Can we talk about it? Chris is First of all, let me ask you guys a question first. It's after 11 here. I have a court case in the AM, so I gotta sleep. Well, you get some rest, honey. It will be all over TikTok. Oh, honey. You'll have to let us know. So interested. Message me. But you get some sleep, and I will post this on YT. Well, honey, then you're in the right place because we're gonna get started on. Yes, please DM me on Chris Watts. My first question to you guys is: we have literally perfectly, absolutely. We have the best chat on all of TikTok. The Sock Gang is so strong, and so Sock Gang's so amazing. They had to make us our own dang gift. Okay, I love the team that we have over here. We're the best. Oh my god, I hopped in this live just in time. Well, welcome, love. Welcome in. Okay, so let me ask you this question first. Do you guys think there's the socks? I love it. Thank you, Amber. Oh, and you guys completed the live goal. Hey, thank you, love. Do you guys think the mistress was involved at all? Whether she played a part in trying to talk him into it or was there and helped? Yes, yes, absolutely. No, the girlfriend was 1000 involved. Absolutely. I do. Maybe. Yes, yes, yes. I think she knew at least. Yes, yes. So we only have one no. Okay, who said no? Who said no? Karma. Only if you're interested. When after we go through this, if you want to come up, she was the catalyst. Oh, so you think that that she didn't help per se, right? She didn't help with the action, but she was the reason why he did it, is what you're saying. I'm saying no because how can someone woman be that, honey? They're all over the place. She was his motivation. Yeah. I wish it was so easy to say because she's a woman can't be that evil. But if that was the case, we wouldn't have women prisons. Yeah. Yeah, Casey. I mean, we can give you a list of names, but I love it. Okay, so I think he by far is one of the most disturbed. Now, mind you guys, I was the social worker that worked with why did his name just Powell, Josh Powell. Okay, so I worked with his case, with his kids, their supervised visitation, the whole right. So I was a part of the Josh Powell case. So I've dealt with very sick individuals. Only reason why I'm able to say that now is because all parties have passed away, and there's books and there's movies, etc. So there's nothing that I could say that you guys would not already know. Why didn't I mean, well, I guess I did know him. I was his social worker when he moved to my state. Okay. Now, that case really affects me every day. Not every day, but it's been years, but it really did. Charlie and Brayden were the cutest little nuggets. But anyways, we'll go into that on another day. But for what Chris did is beyond sick. Now, I don't know if those that Thrive or whatever that was, I have no idea if that had anything to do with it. Some people were saying that it was. You could tell they were two very totally different people. In a sense, now, please do not taking, yes, we're talking about Chris Watts. Please do not take this out of context at all. I'm only stating that Cheyenne and Chris remind me of this other TikTok couple only because how they're so different, right? Cheyenne was so full of life and so bubbly and loved to be in front of the camera. Everything was in front of the camera and she loved that. And Chris was so, a bump on the log. So that's the only reason why I'm giving this correlation between this couple. And I have to make this clear because God forbid, I do not want it to be clipped that I'm trying to compare this famous TikTok couple to Chris and Cheyenne. But from their personalities, it reminds me of TT and Cody Ford, right? Tiana is a bright, beautiful, sunny soul, right? Who is so vibrant on the camera. And Cody was just, yeah, right? Now that she's with Adrian, it's like a perfect thing, right? So that's the only correlation. Okay, so that's how they were. So Chris I don't feel he was very happy in his relationship at all. I don't know if he already knew. Oh no, they did know that it was a boy. But a few questions I also, before I go full in, the picture that I wish I had my iPad, dang it. The picture that he sent her before this happened. Do you guys know the picture I'm talking about with the doll or the kid or whoever it was laid out with the blanket over them with just the feet out? Do you guys know the picture I'm talking about? Yes. No. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Okay. That's why I said Shanann. It might just, is it Shanann? I'm not saying Cheyenne. Shanann. Okay. Okay. So when I saw that, I would have, like, if I'm off on a business trip and I get a picture like that, I'm like, I don't know what I would do. What would I Google to see it? It would probably be, um, I would probably Google picture Chris Watts sent to Shanann of, uh, I would say maybe covered child. I don't know, but you'll see it. It's a yellow blanket that's covering a child or a doll. I don't know if it's a doll or a child. It's a life size, right? And it just has it is disturbing. And no context. Unless there was, if I'm missing it, was there any context with that picture that was sent? It was a doll laying down on the couch, okay, with a sheet over it. Yeah, and it was the last pic that he sent her. Was there any text with it? I can't remember. I wish I had my iPad. Yeah, that's the thing that I don't remember it being there being any context. So how do you take that? Right? He said his daughters did it. No, you're good, Angel. I love that. Hey, listen. I just said the same thing myself, right? About the Diddy trial. I can't watch it because it triggers me. So we all have to know what's best for mental health. That's what's important. So you only be here when you need to be loved. You have my support. Wait, if there was no context, then he meant to say, I don't know. But that picture, it's like when I saw that, I was like, wait, so was one of the girls already? But then I found out it was a doll, right? So I felt like in a sense that was a warning. Yeah, I know he said the girls did it. I don't know that I believe that. Okay. So anyways, he also said that the reason why he did that to Shanann, sorry, was because she did that to the girls. Well, we both, the 302 of us here, we know that that's not true at all. And the girls were still with us. Well, the mom was on the floor for I think it was like a 45 to 50-minute ride. The girls were sitting there with their mom underneath them. That's terrifying. And they said, she was dropped off by, first of all, thank God for her friend. If her friend did not have, it's pronounced Shanann, is from what her family said. It's spelled Shannon. I thought it was Shannon, but then I got corrected a long time ago. Yeah, Nicole. Shout out to her, because I tell you what, this case would have been another Susan Powell, in my opinion, right? Because we've still never found Susan Powell. Thank God she knew in her gut. She knew something was wrong. And she showed up. And she walked right in the house. She knew as soon as all that stuff was there, something was wrong. So he gets the kids and the wife there, and then takes the wife and puts her in the spot. I have to be very cautious on what I say, right? And then takes the youngest and does what he does to her, and then walks her up those oil towers. And they said the top is like this, and squeezed her in there to put her there. And the oldest watched, and then came back and did the same to the oldest. And the oldest begged and said, please don't do what you did to mommy and sissy. And she was the only one that had have to be very cautious. She was the only one that had defensive. Well, she fought back, right? And then there's 2 oil, those big oil towers, right? So there's 2. He couldn't even be respectful enough to even put them together then. He separated them. He put one in one and one in the other. And he said that the older one was a little too big and it was harder for him to get her in there. And he remembers which one went in which oil thing, because he knows how much, it was his job to know how much oil was in there because of the plop, the sound from the plop. So he knew who was in which one. Just a sick individual. An absolute sick individual. And then tried to play it off like nothing happened. But did you guys hear now? He's now trying to blame it on Nicole, which is why I asked you guys in the beginning. And some of the footage that came out, oh my God, also the other huge savior in this thing was the neighbor who had the door, or the, what's that called? The Ring camera. That was the most active I seen. Chris, he was like, I mean, he was stressed and seeing it. But you actually see 2 different feet, or 2 different sets of feet. So I don't know. It could be an image. It could be, I don't know. So we'll have to do like maybe this weekend when I have time, maybe on Saturday. We can do like a night over on YT, and we'll bring up all the footage and we can just talk about all of these crazy cases. Yeah, because I just think it's crazy. Now, if her friend Nicole would not have come, who would have found those babies? And no one would have found them. And the detectives that did find them, and they asked them, they're like, please let us know if you know for sure that, because if they're not, please do not make us go through there. They said anyways, I'm not going to go into that here. A lot of those detectives needed to take time off. I think one even retired because it affected him so much, but he didn't even have time to cover Shanann because Nicole was so on it that the police were already at the house. Yeah, it's just a scary, scary, crazy situation. And Chris Watts, and this was in Denver, Colorado, if I'm correct, right? I'm so into crime. It's me too. Me too. My mind doesn't work like on things that aren't realistic, like sci-fi movies or like anime, that type of stuff. Doesn't work. I'm not even a fun person to even watch movies like that with, because I'd be like, that's not real. Listen, no big ass gorilla is walking through and just stomping on the buildings. That's bullshit. Like, I'm just not a fun person. It has to make sense in my mind. So yeah. Oh good. Well, we will have near Denver. Okay, about an hour north of Denver. Okay, so but in Colorado. Okay, got you. Frederick. No, it's definitely Colorado. I feel like there was one in Texas. Well, of course, there's plenty. But anyways, so what we need to do is find what date we want to do it, set it all up. I'll have all the stuff already lined out. I'll be at my old house because I still have a few weeks at my old house. So that way we won't have any issues. Other people can come up and we can just dive into these cases. It will be so much fun. My husband says, fight for love. Listen, I told my ex-husband one time, I said, listen, you need to be thankful that we got divorced before Snapped came out, because I tell you, this could have been a totally different situation. Could have been a different scenario, okay? Yes, I think that'll be so fun, especially if we do it like once a week or something. Like, just add different stuff in. Again, I love to come on and talk about the stuff that's going on TikTok for the people who put their lives out there. It's beneficial for us to come on and help other people that are going through similar situations and be a resource for them to be able to ask us questions and whatnot. But for us older folks that have already gone through all that, we can have some time for us and go talk about some crime, like, some real cases. Angie, you're local and know how big the case was here. No, they'll never find Susan. And I only say that because when Josh first came to Washington, we knew nothing about the case here. That case had not got the notification, the notoriety yet, right? It was big in the state that he came from, which was Utah, I believe, or wherever. We didn't know about it here, right? So when he came in and I met with him and I said, okay, so you have custody of both of the boys? And he said, yeah. And I said, well, where's their mother? And he was like, she's not around. And I said, okay, well, where is she? And he's like, she won't be found. And I said, well, everybody says that. We have access to a lot of databases and whatnot. We find a lot of people that don't want to be found. It's part of our, requirement. You have to find it. And he leans forward and he gets close and he's like, she'll never be found. Ever. Nobody will ever find her. And never blinks and just sits back in his seat. And I'm like, why not? No clue what's happening or who she is. But it was the only time I think in my career that I got like the heebie-jeebie. Like I felt weird. And I'm in a locked office. Not a locked office, but I'm in a closed office with him. But his eyes were so black. They were so like beady. There was nothing behind them. No, I'm talking about a real life case that I had. Josh Powell. His wife was Susan Powell. She's still missing. And then he ended up unaliving himself and his two boys, Charlie and Braden. He had no emotion. He had no life behind him. His eyes were I just remember his eyes so much, just being so black and just beady, like shifting. And he didn't blink. He just kept leaning forward. And I asked him again. At the first time I was like, okay, I grasp it. Again, we say all the time, but both parents are required to take care of the children. So we have to know where it is. And again, he leaned forward and he was like, don't ask me again. She'll never be found. Trust me. Nobody will ever find. He chuckled. That's exactly the way I'm telling you is the way that he did it. He's like, trust me. She'll never be found. Ever. Nobody will ever find her. I'm like, what the hell? So I finished up the interview, and as soon as he left, I got to Googling, and I was like, what the fuck? No one's ever found her. And police. And his dad, Stephen, I believe is his name, ended up getting arrested and served a lot of time because they found some child stuff. They found a lot of videos about Susan, him singing songs about her, videos, like hidden cameras were in like the bathroom, different areas, right? And then I requested that they do a psych sec on him, which is a psychological schmexual evaluation at court on Friday. It was a Friday. And he needed to have that done, and the judge agreed and signed it. And on Saturday, he had visitation, and he had a house set up, that he said that he was living in, but we found out later it was just a a bait house in a sense. And the visitation or the monitor got there, and Charlie and Braden got out of the car, and Josh was at the door, and the door was open, and Charlie and Braden ran into the house, and she's like, oh, slow down. And Josh closed and locked the door immediately, and she banged on the door, and she was like, Josh, open the door, let me in. And she instantly hears the kids screaming instantaneously. The door shuts and locks, and she hears screaming instantaneously. She calls 911. This 911 operator was horrible. Horrible. She's like, I'm a supervised monitor. I need to get in. He's not supposed to be with them. I can hear the kids screaming. And it took a long time. I can't remember, like 19 minutes or whatever. And then all of a sudden she's like, I smell gas. And he's like, well, get away from the house, blah, blah, blah. The kid, Lisa, right there. Yep, as soon as she said, the kids, and he said the kids, he asked if the kids were crying. She's like, no, they're not crying anymore. He was like, okay, well then it's not a rush. It's not an emergency. Then she smells the gas, and then the house exploded. And the reason why the kids were crying is because he had a hat Chet. And that's how they went and met their mom. Yeah. Anyways, it gets me. I'm trying to say it in a correct way. Not ask. If I'm going to chop down a tree, I'm going to use a hat Chet. Yeah. I just have to be cautious on what I say. But yeah, it was crazy. And again, you guys can look all of it up. There's books, there's movies, absolutely everything. Yeah, she right after has my ADHD. Yeah, it is very, I was a tough case. I struggled a lot because I beat myself up and thought, well, if I didn't request that eval, is that what put, but then I have to say, no, you cannot do that. You cannot put that on yourself. You cannot do that. So yeah, it was tough. Yep. So Charlie and Braden, I will remember absolutely forever. I know, Hannah, thank you. It's, but it's one of those things, you see on the news. I saw it on the news and I'm like, I was just with, what do you mean? I was just with him. What do you mean? And again, it is part of the job that I do, apparently, as a pooper scooper. It's, I have cases like these that I talk about, and then I always think about all these yahoos over on fucking Reddit that want to be like, oh, she's not a social worker. Okay. Well, you find one then. It just blows my mind. I think if he didn't do it then. Absolutely. It was set up, right? That's how we later found out that he was still living with his dad. See, he wasn't allowed to live with his dad because of all the stuff that was going on. So he had this rental house that, we'd already done the walkthrough. Everything had been passed, whatever. Come to find out later, after all this happened, that was just a setup house. He just had that house for visitations. He wasn't living there. He would only use it just to go there for the supervised visits. Absolutely, Norma. We can only do our best. We can only do what we can do. My dad had, oh my gosh, coffee. Wow, I'm sorry, love. Maybe thought about. No, he wasn't. He had no interest in that, because if that was the case, he would have let her in, and he would have done it. And that was she wasn't a social worker. She was the monitor, the supervised monitor. She is the sweetest lady. She struggled with this. She was in one of the documentaries And her husband spoke. It was just so sweet. She really loved Charlie and Brayden. Were those kids? Was the mother? No, they've never found the mother. They've never found her. Yeah. Her name is Susan Powell. You can look it up. Yes. Me too. Born and raised. Love it. I have to take it off. Info. Thank you, Hannah, for coming on. Yeah, I'm gonna get off here too and get ready. I need to, yes, Nikki, I need to look into that. I keep hearing about them, about the 2 missing kids in Canada. And I heard a little bit about it, and then I stopped hearing about it, and then someone said something about the parents being involved or maybe being involved. So I will look into that. And then let's set up a thing for this weekend. Oh, it's in your area, Sammy. You can come up and tell us all about it. I've only heard about it like because you guys told me, and then I happened to see a video, and I'm really good at picking up on cues when parents are involved, and so I want to look in it. And you need to. Yes, I will. That's what I'll look into tonight. Can you guys give me some what am I trying to say? Some like keywords or like something that I need to look up, or if one of you guys can either tag me in a video or give me, I mean, I guess I could just look up missing kids in Nova Scotia. Yeah, I can send it. Thank you, Brandy. Yeah, because I definitely want to look into it. You guys are look at you guys. I fucking love you guys so much. Mom is involved for sure. Yeah, that's what I heard. But I wanna peep it out and see. Elena! Hello, love. Lily and Jax. Oh, that's how you spell. Okay, let me copy that too. Okay. Well, you guys, this has been an amazing live. You guys are truly the best. I don't know what the hell I would do without you guys. Like, what did I do without you guys all my life? Have you ever heard of Savannah Grant? Thank you, love. Story she had her baby. What? Oh, wait, is that the one where then the lady that took the baby, she showed up at the hospital and was like, that said that she just had the baby, and they're like, you did not just have the baby, and then they found her. Tonight, I think like 6:45-ish my time. So it's 8:44 now. So I was live for a little bit, and then there was a violation on someone who came up, so I had to reset, and then I came on. Why did they just say of the Nova Scotia kids? Oh, when do I go live? Oh, I'm sorry, love. Typically I go live. I try to go live every day at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If I'm running a little late, I'll try to put it up on, in your my little comments there. But I try to stay on it. But we're gonna start one day a week going over on YT and talking about just different cases and stuff. The cops went in the house 3 different times and didn't even notice the baby. Oh my god! I've got to go look this up right now. Oh my god! I must go look it up again. Thank you for this. I love all the Seahawks. It's on Hulu. Okay, so I love you guys as always. I don't do Facebook at all. Yeah, Facebook is. I used to do Facebook, which is why when I got doxxed, it was hilarious. They're like, we knew she was a liar because her ass is married. I've been divorced for 15 years. More than that. Anyways, but when my mom passed away in 2017, my grief counselor in 2018 said, you need to take some time off of Facebook or FB, because every time you go on, she's like, it's not that I want you to forget about your parents, but every time you start doing good, you go on and those memories pop up and you keep having memories, like ripping the Band-Aid off. So you need to give yourself some time to just heal. So anyways, all that to say, I never went back. It's been so nice because I feel like FB is just filled with drama. A lot of people were like, you should go over there. You'll make more money over there. I'm like, nah, just I don't do it for the money, you know? Wait, who's fighting on Friday? No way your house is painted in Seahawks green and blue. I love it. I love it. Oh, are you talking about, are you talking about the, yeah, red and fly? Yeah, I think that's for views. So anyways, I must go. I got to go shower and go look up this Nova Scotia kids. I got to. It's crazy. I need to see it. So, no way. Your mom also passed in 2017? Oh, I'm sorry, love. My mom passed on January 14th, 2017. Crazy. Anyways, okay. Love you all. I will see you tomorrow. Night sock gang. I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. Same time, same place. We'll be here. Love you guys. Have a good night. Bye.